Welcome to MTMG's IT Roundtable, where we bring the power of human connections to the tech world. Our experts become part of your team, so whatever tech problem is keeping you up at night, we can help you solve it.
Joining us today is Mike Onystok, founder and CEO of HonestStok, one of the new partners in the MTMG ecosystem, one we are so thrilled to have met. Really excited about what the things we're going to be able to do, and finding an organization that just has this such a great connection on ethos and how we think of things. It's really just been a wonder to meet you, and we'll have to thank Anne, who brought us together. We'll have to thank her at some point. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Paul. Thank you for having us. Very excited about the partnership. And I tell you what, I probably thank Ann every day. It's amazing. So yeah, we'll definitely have to make sure to do that again.
Absolutely. For those that are wondering, it's Ann Mitchell of Channel Spring, good friend to both of us. And now she's played matchmaker, and it's worked very, very well. She's wonderful. So we'll have to include her in the show notes. She's been on the podcast before, so you're now getting your chance. But all right, so jumping into the questions, your profile mentions the School of Entrepreneurship and Hard Knocks, with the note that failure is not an option. In an industry often dominated by MBA speak and venture capital, how has that gritty, real-world mindset shaped your leadership style and the way you advise your partners?
Thank you. Yeah. So Mike HonestStok, thank you all for having me. So the School of Hard Knocks is that I started my career really, really early. I was 15, working full-time. I was in military school at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in Delafield, Wisconsin. And I was a concrete laborer, and then I was a carpenter. And what you learn on the job, you don't technically learn in school. And a lot of that has to do with the grit it takes to be successful. That's putting in the hard work, long hours, learning how to do things differently from people with experience. And some of your description there, what it makes me think of is, and I've worked with some of those MBA and PE professionals, and being in the business or learning about the business off of a piece of paper is not the same. And so bringing some human element to it, right? It's not all about the numbers in the textbook. It's also about the relationship. And so we focus, businesses ran on relationships for us, not on technology, although that's where we're focused. It's actually the first thing that pops up when you open our website. So we heavily focus on the relationship with the sub-agent, the technology advisor, the MSP, the VAR, the fractional CFO, CEO, whoever we're working with to address their business customers' technology needs, and putting a real world mindset to how are we going to help these businesses either consolidate vendors, save cost, have a more efficient technology solution specific to their needs. Instead of saying, if we read it in a textbook, this is what you should do, because it's not applicable to everybody's scenario. And that School of Hard Knocks is you learn on the job. And I believe that not only in the advisors that we need, but also the employees that we hire. We bring them in, we get them acclimated to the environment based on real life experience. And personally, I'm a hands-on learner. And I have taken quite a few hard knocks and learned the hard way. Maybe you can avoid some of those with MBA education, but I appreciate that coming from that world. And that is I think what's made us very successful is that we've been there. We understand where others have been. We want to understand where you have been if we don't, so that we can meet them where they are. Not everybody's at the same education or maturation level. So need a new partner. They could be coming from, 100,000 different backstories, right? Like I went from concrete laborer to 20 years in technology channel. They could have been, name any type of core focus for technology. It could have been that they were focused on MSP. They were selling appliances before, whether that was switches, firewall, routers. Based on their history, we tried to say, okay, from where you are today, here's the places I would go. That's the easiest next step to diversify their business and capture more from the channel. And so that's basically where I think of when it comes to the hard knocks.
I have to be honest. One of the things you just mentioned there really resonates for me in that when I first got out of college, I started working for an event planning company. And it was we did DJs, videographers, photographers all over New England, corporate weddings, all sorts of stuff. But one of the things that we prided ourselves on was we could take someone that had a good work ethic and had a great personality and teach them all the things they needed to do to be a good wedding DJ or a big corporate DJ. We could teach them the basics of, okay, here's how you manage a dance floor. Here's how you do these different things. But we wouldn't advertise if we were looking to hire more people. We didn't advertise for DJs. We advertised for bartenders. We advertised for waitresses. We advertised for people that had great skill sets, but it wasn't about, okay, I can teach you what music goes together, but I can't teach you how to be a good person. I can't teach you how to be gregarious. And I think that's so similar to what you were just talking about.
Oh, you nailed it. Yes, exactly. It's the right attitude and aptitude. It's not, that's like the entitlement. I just, whatever, leave that at the door. If I graduate at the top of my class, that's great. And I'm sure that's going to do well for you, but that's not what's getting you the job here. What's getting you the job here is, one, you're a good person. I believe in karma, not a real spiritual person. I operate my entire life off karma. Right? Just do the right thing and the right thing will happen. It might not happen right away, but the long tail is that eventually karma will take care of it, whether it's good or bad. And if you do that and put people in opportunities that they didn't have before, they had the right attitude and aptitude, they'll deliver, they'll grow to the occasion. Whereas somebody else that feels like they're better than the starting point, that's hard to come back from. It's like, okay, well, maybe you're not the right person for the role. I love the way you said that. And you've been doing that for 20 years. From my former role till now. And people now that are in the channel, in channel chief roles, started their own business. And they started as entry-level employees with us selling best effort bundles. They're selling multinational data center solutions. And that's really special to see. So I hold all those successes really close to my heart. I think if anybody's out there watching that and you're thinking of yourself, and I'm thinking of you. So
that's awesome. I love it. All right. So you frequently reference a crawl, walk, run strategy for enabling new blood in the channel. Can you walk us through how this prevents the analysis paralysis many traditional advisors face when trying to pivot into something complex and recurring revenue services like security and cloud?
Yes. So crawl, walk, run. This has been a huge part of our success. And others out there say it differently. I've heard save the channel. The philosophy comes from, it's kind of like what we talked about just now with the attitude and aptitude, but I'm going to address something else first, is that the channel's been around long enough now that some of the most successful partners are actually cycling out. You hear about a lot of acquisitions coming, roll-ups with other master agents that are really PE firms, and they're buying out partners. And my philosophy is, let's keep making sure that we bring new technology advisors, new sub-agents, new entrepreneurs into this space, because it's one of the best kept secrets in entrepreneurship. There's no better space than this. And I strongly believe that. It's somewhere you can launch your business with minimal investment and your existing relationships. So that's that crawl, right? They have the strong relationships. Maybe they're not even in tech. They're in finance. They're in the spend consulting. They're energy brokers. They're satellite sellers. They're point of sale resellers, but they have the right attitude and aptitude and spirit to go talk to their existing customers. That's that crawl. And in that scenario, what we're doing is we're applying sales as a service along with all of our traditional value adds, like back office, tracking all the commissions and proactively disputing them every month, the ability to get quotes speedily and know which vendors to quote for which solutions, whether that's technology requirements or geography requirements or existing infrastructure that we have to make it work with. We will help guide them and even interact directly with their customer, with them on like a three-legged sales call, if you will, to get that to a point where it is a transaction they can monetize. The walk is, after seeing that several times, they don't need us as much. And so then we try to move them into that walk category. If you can sell these 5 different types of solutions up to this point, you don't need us, that's great. You do those now, and we'll go back to the old way where send us the requirements, we'll get you all of the quotes and information you need from the suppliers, and you consult with your customer directly. that kind of walk, but we're still there as an added layer to say, okay, it's getting complex now beyond my ability to communicate clearly and articulate the message. Can you guys join the call? And whether that's with engineer support for design, Visio diagrams, or just an executive presence to say, they're going to have the CEO on the call. This is a 100,000 person company, which we've just recently done with. We want to have more representation. And the run runs a tradition. I don't want to say traditional because it's like labeling. It's a partner that's capable of having the conversation without assistance and closing the deal. So that crawl category, they're newer to this space, but they have great relationship, attitude, and aptitude. We help them crawl and get in by every piece of the need, whether it's marketing, sales, the back office, the financing. We even help them. We're not attorneys, but we'll help them get through the filing of starting their business, if they will, with some suggestions of where to go, what you need to do first. The run is, we're operating now. We're doing 3-legged sales calls. If you need us less, we can reel it back a little bit. You tell us how much more you need. And then the run is, I've got this. We've got sales on the board. There's revenue coming. And they go out and they rinse and repeat the strategy.
And we have not talked about this before, but one of the foundations of MTMG is almost the exact same thing. We have this bench of people that are fractional executives that came to us never having been a fractional executive. They've been executives, but now they're at a career transition. They're at this stage where, all right, I want to start, I don't want to work full-time anymore. I want to work project-based. I want to be able to do X, Y, or Z. They have that same sort of feeling. It's okay. They need us to do a lot of the legwork to help them make that first sale or help get that first engagement. Or they need to bring in someone else from the team to, hey, look, I need to have a CISO as part of this conversation. Let me take someone else. Or you can just run on your own, but we do a lot of the back office work. It is so eerie how much our operating systems are very, very similar, but it is exactly that way. And the whole key that they've all felt really positive about is that it's a community of like-minded individuals that all want to help each other do it. And again, this is what I keep finding out about HonestStok. It's the same thing. And so I appreciate it very much. And I love the way you're thinking.
Yeah. It's such a good feeling when someone gets that first one done and they're successful. So it's, that's exactly what well said.
All right. While the name HonestStok is a clever play in your surname,
thank you.
You also lean heavily into being vendor neutral and refusing to steer partners toward preferred vendors. Why is that transparency so rare in the channel today? And why is it the cornerstone of your business?
Thank you. So it kind of started out as a nickname. And we talked a little bit earlier. I own 2 other companies, one in the construction space and one in the risk mitigation space for lenders. And that's our whole ethos, right? Is that you can't be in risk mitigation for lenders unless you're absolutely honest. And the whole essence of that business is that we do all of the site visits where somebody can get a draw on their multi-million-dollar loan when they're upcycling property, that type of deal. So we're checking to make sure that you actually do this work before you take this $200,000 million loan. And we'll visit the site and check off and say, okay, yeah, you did put new appliances in the 40 unit. And so you really do have to be honest there. And I don't lie, right? Like, why was this waste time? And then we started this one and it just kind of stuck and we kept the name going. And it's actually the way you would pronounce my last name is HonestStok, right? So it is quite a play on the word. And then we took off so fast when we launched this. I don't want to change it. And other people said not to change it, but I was a little weary because it's weird saying it. Oh, hey, join it. Cause it's like I'm saying my own name all the time, but it's not totally meant to be that way. Let's talk about the channel. There's so many great people in it. There really are. And I think the majority of the channel partners lead with integrity. Over time though, this is becoming a pretty mature space. There's been incentives that I think have clouded others' vision. And I was part of that in my former role. I took over marketing. We went from 3 people to 15 people in a year, 300,000 to 3 million in MDF in 1 year. And that was an issue because what happens is when you're taking all that MDF dollars, you're expected to perform. So you start driving business to get an ROI for that investor with the MDF. And that's why we try to stay away from that, because we want what's best for the customer. We're trying to build a long haul play, and never do we want a solution to go in that's not the right solution. So we're not, and even I've heard some other horror stories like SPIFFs being paid to sales individuals within our competitors. That's not something we allow either, because I don't want my sales representative to have his judgment or her judgment clouded based on, I'm going to make more money if I push them to go over here. That's not the right answer. We want to push them to where they're going to be a 10-year customer, not where they're going to be a customer and pissed off in a year because it's not the right deal. So the long-term security and longevity of the business for me, the partner and the supplier, nobody wants a customer that's going to churn, right? So doing the right thing, right? Believing in karma, do the right thing the first time and we'll reap the rewards long-term. You do the wrong thing, we'll have a short spike of victory and then a lot of pain that we got to deal with later on when those customers are churning. So staying honest in the channel is making sure we're putting the right vendors in front of the customers when they need it. We're not letting MDF drive that strategy. There was one other major point I wanted to make on this. The other part is backend bonuses are common. So if somebody has a backend bonus and they want to try to push people to an annual number that they hit, again, it's similar to the MDF or the SPIFF scenario, is that don't let that short-term incentive drive the business. And so we just stay away from those things. Let's just put the right solution in place the first time. And those, and if there's a vendor on the list that doesn't fit that mold, then they don't belong in front of the customer. And that, if we continue to do that, all of us in the channel, that's when this thing really, really takes off. I think I'll tell a little channel story. This is getting a little off track, but it's not, though. I promise, Paul, it's not off track. So think about the automotive industry, right? You used to buy your car from Ford a long time ago. If you're a history buff like I am, I think you are. I love the map, by the way. But you used to buy it from Ford. You don't buy anything from Ford now. You buy it from a dealer, right? An authorized reseller. That's where technology is going. And it has been going, and now it's happening in an exponential higher growth rate. Like if you call AT&T, they're going to sell you what AT&T has, and they're going to try really hard to make sure you sign that contract. We're going to tell you why that is or isn't a good solution in an agnostic way across several different solutions. And so you got to keep that going. And those things we just talked about, whether it's MDF or SPIFF or backend bonuses, or it's something that is driving you away from that strategy, then we're getting away from what we bring at the very beginning to the customer, which is a clear agnostic view of all their options. And I believe that this space is going to grow 10, 20, 30 times over the next couple of years. So we're on that Malcolm Gladwell quote. We're on that tipping point where the channel is going to just explode. 10 years ago, it was about convergence. There's all these different channels. It's converged. It's happened. All right. So the partners now have an incredible opportunity to capture that tipping point or hockey stick where enterprises, major multi-level enterprises, are actually looking for agnostic consultants, where in the past it was like, oh, we're SMB mid-market channel. And it kept growing and customers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now what I see is like what used to be considered a protected customer for a telco is a opportunity every day. They're asking for the agnostic approach versus, oh no, I want to work directly with, I'm picking on AT&T. This is no fault to them, but just because it's easy, everybody knows what that is. So it's like trying to use one of the largest companies. No, I want to work directly with AT&T because we get some kind of volume discount. The partner can negotiate that for them now. And I even saw it over the last 10 years, not picking on that same provider, but any of those household names that you would see on a billboard driving down the highway. They used to have 5,000 protected accounts. Now they have like 550. So they've opened and raised the floor, if you will, of what a channel partner can work with without restrictions. So by having integrity and staying honest, we're going to keep that momentum going. Otherwise, we make our lives harder down the road.
I completely agreed. And the thing that has always struck me, I was in sales for years at T-Mobile, and I couldn't stand having to pitch only my product. If it didn't work, if the coverage didn't work where the client needed it, my leadership was pushing me, well, convince them that it's going to be fine. That's just against who I am as a person. I can't do that. And so there was a lot of friction there. And when Joe, my partner, and I, we founded this firm. We wanted to take that opposite approach, the technology advisor role. That, look, I don't care which platform you want to use. You want to use AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint at the time, whatever. It doesn't matter to us. We just want to help you make the best decision you can make. And the best part about this whole industry is that, and we can do it and not charge the client a thing because we have relationships with all of them. So we're going to sit down and show you, hey, look, here's the strengths and weaknesses of each one. Which is the one that works best for you? Here's our suggestion, but whichever one you want is fine. That's how we built that underlying proof for our clients that, look, we're going to be upfront about everything with you. Yep, we're not going to charge you. We are going to get paid by whoever you choose, but they're all the same to us. And here's the strengths and weaknesses of each. So you're making the final decision. We're not pushing you in one way or another, but this way you get that the ability to have someone who's been there before and done it for years, sitting on your side of the table, helping you make that decision. Now you're going to be much better set up for the long term. And our approach is the exact same as yours in that we don't ever think of, hey, look, here's this one deal we're going to make money on. That's not who we are. That's not how we think. We think here's this one person, we can help them solve that problem. It goes well. We stay in touch. Now, guess what? They're going to think of us the next time. And then we can help them with that problem. And just back to your karma thing, everything we do is all about, let's think about the client first. What is that problem we need to solve? Let's solve it. And then we'll worry about the rest later. Again, perfect. Thinking along the same lines.
Yeah, totally. It's about apple trees, not apples.
Exactly.
We just plant as many trees as you can and nurture until the fruit keeps coming. And that's the idea. And so you do that by being a good steward of the orchard, if you will. You nailed it. I love that. That's
all right. So wrapping this up, because we could talk all day.
Yeah.
But you've had significant success turning around active advisor numbers in the past.
Yes.
What is the single biggest hurdle you see today that prevents a dormant advisor from becoming an active, high-performing power user in the current economy?
Relationship. I think that the big issue, and what I see about is relationship. They don't have a good relationship with the partner beyond just a business relationship, if you will. So making sure that you're honing those relationships, understanding where they come from has helped us get partners more active, as well as nurturing, meeting them where they are. We talked a little bit about before, but if they understanding where they are in their business, what's their core focus, how did they get into that customer to begin with? Is it based on past relationships? Is it that this is a cross sell after a different initial core focus? And then altering our approach to fit their match. So we'll do all kinds of different things. We'll help them create custom collateral with their brand that they can send out to their customer base. We'll get on those calls and help explain it if they're not as articulate as maybe our team is. But the point is just to meet them where they are and help them get to a point. And again, going back to the maturity of this channel, and there's different people that maybe I compete with that are at different levels, right? Different sizes company. If you have a $40,000 MRC deal, you would expect your channel manager to call you back, right?
Absolutely.
Not 3 days from that.
Right.
Yeah. If you call us, I'm canceling my call the rest of the day to make sure we get your deal done. And that level of involvement, I think, is what we're missing. White glove, handheld support. We're in business together. I'm not showing up like this. Like, how many sales do you have for me? I'm showing up like this, rolling my sleeves up. Like, how do we go find the sale together? And that's different. That's what makes the long-term relationships concrete. We built it together, not you just give me your sale. Like, no.
You got to stop this because you're getting in my head. Part of what we do at MTMG, and that's been in this explosive growth we've seen in the last year, is we've had all these partners that want to come and work with us because we take that same approach. It's not, we don't want access to a partner's list to go sell their clients. We want to find out how can we work together to find new business together. We're both incented. We both want to help new people, but it's not about, okay, how can I make money off of you? It's how can we do this together? And that is what has made us really have incredible momentum. And it's just, to you and I, it seems second nature, but it is not. And I think it's yet again a reason why we need to be doing business together.
And I've been watching you guys on social media, and it was great to finally get to meet you face to face. We started talking a month ago, and I was like, that's why I wanted to work with you. I was like, I have to work with this company because we have the same like bloodline and lineage. We came from here, we went to there. And so I'm excited to work with you guys and get to experience that as well. I think you have a great thing going, and it's just gonna keep going. I'm just cold. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you are perfectly minded for the growth that is in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what partners out there should be. Partners out there should be looking for individuals like you that can help. You've been there. You're also able to go do the sale, and so why wouldn't they work with you?
And we've been. Go ahead. I apologize.
In the fact that you do these podcasts and you're helping educate them and they can watch them. So that's what we're missing.
And we feel very much the same way. And there's plenty of options for TSDs out there, but there's very few with your ethos. There's very few that we want to help you grow. We want to help even the small technology advisors and help you fill in gaps that you have. So many of them have moved to the marketplace idea, or, well, unless you're coming to me with this massive size deal, I won't return a phone call. And there's a place for those, but that's not who our current partner base or client base is. And that's not who yours is. And that's why I think that if there is a technology advisor out there who is listening, or an MSP in our listening audience, if you are looking for an honest, ethical, and partnership driven TSD, there's nobody else to talk to. It's just, let's set up that call with Mike.
Appreciate it.
So
awesome.
Well, all right. Now that the Love Fest is over, we'll get back to work.
Right.
But thank you so much for joining. This was a great conversation. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'd love to have you back and have you on ours. And thank you so much for the partnership and hosting us. It was great. Talk to you.
Sounds great.
So that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Thank you for joining us. If today's discussion resonated with you, please consider giving us a 5-star review. Your feedback not only supports our show, but also helps others find us. Thank you so much for listening to MTMG's IT Roundtable. We look forward to bringing you more conversations soon. Until then, take care, and know our team is always here to help. Sláinte
MTMG, guidance that empowers.